Quiet Valley Living Historical Farm's annual Harvest Festival is one of the area's largest fall festivals. We heard about the festival and decided to experience what living on a farm was like in the 19th century. Quiet Valley Living Historical Farm and its volunteers work to preserve these traditions for future generations through its living history experience created on the farm. Immediately upon entering the farm, the Penn-Stayed Woodmobile caught our attention, filled with educational exhibits on sustainable wood practices and highlighting the different species of wood in Pennsylvania. The truck was filled with products made from Pennsylvania wood by local manufacturing companies. Some of the products included baseball bats, cabinets, a bike, and a guitar made of all wood.
It's one of actually two Martin guitars made completely out of Pennsylvania trees. Guitars are, the sound is produced by the type and species of wood that's used, period end. So nothing will sound like that, nothing else in the world. So that's another significant aspect of it, Is it good to cut down trees? A lot of kids say, no, it's bad, we need to preserve our trees. But it's a harvestable commodity just like anything else, and if we have to do it correctly. Historically we didn't. We did a lot of clear cutting, it was harmful. But now we've changed things up. We're doing things the right way in a sustainable fashion.
After the impromptu concert, we couldn't decide what to eat, see, or do next. Right next to the Woodmobile, they were making apple butter, and the smell of cooking apples was incredible, and we couldn't pass it up.
We started with 30 gallons of cider that we boiled down to 15, and then we added the 6 trays of apples that had been peeled, sliced, and schnitzed or cut. And then we did that at 8 o'clock, and once you start to stir, then you have to stir until it turns into apple butter.
Making apple butter from scratch takes about 2 days. A large copper cauldron, a lot of firewood, and a special mixer to keep the juice moving as it was boiled down. It was a good thing there were so many volunteers willing to help make the apple butter. Since the apple butter wouldn't be ready until the end of the day, we continued to explore the farm. Our next stop, several ladies were dyeing yarn using traditional methods. They used everything from flowers to dead bugs to create the various colors of yarn.
In order to add color to our world, we use things that we would have either here on the farm or that we could acquire from a peddler or a store nearby. Today we're using flowers that we grew in the garden. We have marigolds and goldenrod and tansy, but you can get yellows from a lot of different flowers. And we're also using, this is a walnut tree, a black walnut tree, and the outside hull of the walnut will give us browns. So we have browns from the walnut tree. Everything here is something that would have been available to the housewife in the 1800s.
They colored the yarn and varied the shade by adding minerals or boiling the yarns in different metal pots, which affected the final color. In the tent right next door, there were various groups of people making yarn, threads, and fabrics from several different materials. It is amazing where different fabrics come from, such as flax-based linens, cotton yarns, wool threads, and hemp-based materials. Textile demonstrations of lace making and weaving showed how fabrics were made from farm products and how families living on farms were self-sustaining. Much of the clothing they were wearing at the festival was handmade. Everything at the festival was hands-on, and audience participation was encouraged. As we watched the demonstrations, the smell of griddle cakes lured us away from the textile tent and over to the griddle cake gals. The griddle cakes were a frontier staple for many families, made from a few simple ingredients with berries added for flavor. These cakes are made using currants and tasted amazing, hot off the griddle. Although we could have eaten our fill of griddle cakes for the day, the mouth-watering smell of fire-roasted foods and baked beans, soups, and vegetables cooking on a fire stove drew us reluctantly away from the griddle cakes. The wood-burning stove made in Scranton served as one of the only cooking methods for all the food being served and was able to keep up with the demand of the crowd. Paired with homemade pies and desserts, it was an amazing lunch. This is the ultimate in home cooking, and there were plenty of vegetarian and vegan options. We enjoyed lunch listening to one of the many live music groups scattered throughout the property. After that amazing lunch, sprawling out under a nearby tree for a quick nap would have been in order, but there was still so much to see on the farm before the day ended. Next stop, crop harvesting. Growing grains on the farm to feed people and animals is very important. Grains provided the raw materials to make flour used for breads. The entire process, from grinding the flour and making bread, was on full display. Kids were not only able to see where the different foods come from, but also how they are made from scratch. Many took part in the hands-on demonstrations, sparking curiosity and interest in the young festival goers. Even adults learned a thing or two, and the expression, "go outside and kick some corn," finally made sense when shown a metal knife that fit over a boot used to harvest corn by walking between the rows and kicking the bottom of the cornstalk with the knife to harvest the plant. One thing that impressed us throughout the farm was how much of the plants and animals grown on the farm were used, and nothing went to waste. Family farms were the ultimate in self-sufficiency, and each community provided all the skills needed to support operations, such as a local blacksmith. While observing the blacksmith work, one of the local ladies broke a part on a 100-year-old piece of equipment that was being used at the festival. The blacksmith simply took the part and made her a new one as we watched, and she was shortly back in operation. The other key elements of the farm on display included an ice house, which contained ice harvested from the pond on the property in January, and covered in sawdust, which kept the entire ice house cold all summer. During most years, there would still be ice in the ice house in January, when the next ice harvest would take place. A lime kiln near the ice house was used to make lime to help treat the soil for growing crops. Quiet Valley also supports many of the animals that would have been typically found on early farms, including rabbits, chickens, goats, and sheep. Wagon rides took visitors around the farm, including the pond where the ice is harvested in the winter. Horses were a key element of any farm and were used for everything from transportation to plowing the fields, with draft horses being used for heavier work like logging and plowing. Lighter breeds were used for riding and pulling buggies. After grabbing a fire stove baked pretzel, we headed over to the schoolhouse to observe a class taught using the teaching methods of the time. Then we stopped by a cheese-making demonstration showing methods for making lemon and mozzarella cheeses. Right next door was a Civil War encampment, so we stopped by and talked with the 142nd Volunteer Infantry, a group of reenactors from Stroudsburg, giving spectators an idea of what it was like during the time of the Civil War.
Loaded, ready, you get into your T, aim, fire. There you go.
We learned how to make butter and candles using both tallow and beeswax.
A tallow candle will burn for 20 minutes until it is gone. It will produce a lot of smoke. It will smell like you lit an animal on fire. Not the greatest thing. A beeswax candle, this burns for 2 hours. There's less smoke. It doesn't smell awful.
The experience was never ending, and there was so much to see at the farm, like the smokehouse, bread oven, corn cribs, barns, and remnants of old farm equipment, combined with exhibits showing how things were made on the frontier, such as early tools and arrowheads, woven baskets and hats, leather products, and things made from animal horns, which has many of the same properties of today's plastics, including the ability to be molded.
If you work it the right way and heat the corn up to about 325 degrees, you can make it into a mold. It forms in this mold and it cools and it maintains that shape. So you make scoops, you make bowls, you make spoons.
It impressed us that there was so much to do on the farm that boredom was never an issue. When the work was done for the day, there were always games or toys for kids, stories to tell, time spent with family, swimming or hiking, and exploring the woods. There was so much time and material available for creative expression, which was evident in the needlepoint art exhibit by the Pocono chapter of the Embroiderers Guild of America. As the sun started to set and the first day of the festival was coming to an end, it was time to go pick up our apple butter and head back to life in the 21st century. We will head back to visit the farm year-round and look forward to spooky days on the farm and an old-time Christmas, as well as the ice harvest. There's always something to do or see at the farm. For more information on the farm, upcoming events, 19th century farm life, or volunteering, visit quietvalley.org. We'll see you on our next time-traveling adventure at the Quiet Valley Living Historical Farm.
The Sullivan Catskills Fall. So unexpected. Reds rich as dinner wine. Ale amber as the trees. Hues competing with nature. Doves colorful as our leaves. Ruby flames, tasty s'mores. Sleep under midnight blue skies. Come visit for pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, and pies. The Sullivan Catskills Fall. So unexpected. SullivanCatskills.com. I love New York.
For the largest selection of first-quality remnant carpeting for every room in your home, choose Mike's Walk-In Carpet, the only remnant stocking dealer in Wayne County with high-quality carpet purchased directly from the manufacturer. With over 40 years' experience, you'll get professional service every time. Don't settle for lesser quality carpeting from the big box stores. Choose the best, remnants or special order from Mike's Walk-In Carpet on Route 590, Hawley.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Collins, President of Davis R. Chant Realtors.
And I'm Abby Pittenger-Claus, Vice President of Davis R. Chant Realtors.
Chant has been serving the Lake Wallenpaupack region for over 58 years, and we are proud to say we sell more homes by volume than any other real estate company in Northeast Pennsylvania. We are coming off our strongest year in the Lake Region real estate market, selling over $430 million in sales volume.
We work with sellers to put together a thoughtful but aggressive marketing plan tailored to each home individually. Each of our property listings gets a virtual tour and is professionally photographed, giving the prospective buyer the best first impression. The Lake Wallenpaupack area is an attractive place to live because of its low taxes, great school districts, and beautiful scenery. Our team of agents here at Davis R. Chant Realtors has extensive knowledge in the local real estate market. We have experience with everyone from first-time home buyers to experienced investors. Chant uses a variety of print media, billboards, open houses, and national real estate websites to promote properties and reach potential buyers.
Here at Chant, we know that working together and providing channels of communication and feedback is important for the best outcome when selling your home. If you are ready to relocate, upgrade, downsize, or know anyone who's considering the Lake Region area, please stop by one of our Chant offices or call us at 570-226-4518 or visit us online at chantre.com.
To bring awareness to the threat of bee colony collapse and to support industries that rely on robust bee populations, the Narrowsburg HoneyBee Fest was created 8 years ago. The Narrowsburg HoneyBee Fest highlights all the products that honeybees contribute to our lives. In addition to the important task of food crop pollination, bees also produce honey, which can be found in products such as mead, wines, beers, baked goods, ice cream, cough drops, and many other foods and medicinal remedies. Bees are also responsible for pollinating plants that produce fibers for the clothes that we wear, with the most obvious being cotton. The vendors lining the main street of Narrowsburg had many of their products on display for people to taste or purchase. The connection to bees was everywhere along the crowded streets, from honey-based products to cotton and natural fiber-made items. In addition to the vendors, there were supportive community organizations working to protect our environment and educating property owners on what they can do to attract and support bee populations. This includes planting flowering plants, clovers, and other vegetation that bees use to make honey and need to sustain a thriving, healthy colony that in turn pollinates the foods that we eat. Did you know that bees account for the pollination of over 30% of our food supply, as well as flowers, fruit trees, and other medicinal plants that we use in our daily lives? This represents over $15 billion worth of crops pollinated by bees. This Sullivan County Festival supports honeybees by encouraging beekeeping and honey production in the Catskill Mountains as sustainable business enterprises that are important to the quality of life in our region. Crowds of festival goers turned out to support bees and to enjoy a beautiful day on the main street of Narrowsburg. Some of the visitors at the festival were exploring the Sullivan Catskills Dove Trail and discovered the festival in their travels. Throughout the day, there was live entertainment, guest speakers, educational displays, and even an audio installation about bees at the end of Main Street. The Wallenpaupack Area Marching Band supports the festival every year and entertained the crowd dressed as bees against the backdrop of the scenic Upper Delaware River. The Narrowsburg HoneyBee Festival takes place every September in Narrowsburg, New York. For more information, go to beefestival.org. And if you want to experience a local adventure exploring all the great places in Sullivan County, follow the Dove Trail map available at sullivancatskills.com. The holidays are just around the corner, and for many, this is a time of joy, family traditions, and celebration. But for some, it can be a very difficult time of the year, for any number of reasons. This year, make a difference in the life of a young child by donating a toy, contributing, volunteering your time, or hosting a drop-off site for this year's holiday toy drive for Pike and Wayne County. Monetary donations are especially important to purchase toys for kids in age ranges where there may not be enough donated toys. The Wayne County Ford and Bold Gold Media Holiday Toy Drive Challenge has partnered with the Zipper Junction Project to make this year's toy drive a huge success. In addition to toys, volunteers are needed to help collect and distribute gifts. You can host a holiday toy drive event or party to help collect toys, or host a drop box at your business where the community can drop off toys and donations. If you would like to receive toys for a child, please fill out an online application before October 31st. To register, visit zipperjunction.org/holiday toy drive or call 570-390-7066. All toys should be new unwrapped gifts for children up to age 18. By supporting the holiday toy drive, you can make a difference for children in Wayne and Pike counties and make sure their holidays are filled with happy memories. You can also drop off toys at Wayne County Ford on 191 Texas Palmyra Highway in Honesdale. Be sure to look for the official Holiday Toy Drive logo on drop boxes at participating locations. For details and up-to-date information, visit zipperjunction.org or call 570-390-7066.
Bring the gang out for a day of fall family fun. Come out to Carousel Dairy Bar Cafe and Old Fashioned Fun Park in Beach Lake. The kids will love getting lost in the corn maze, pumpkin picking, wandering through the sunflower field, and eating delicious ice cream. How about a spin on the go-karts? Or bumper boats? Play a round of mini golf. And when weather permits, take a ride down their 2 water slides. After you've worked up an appetite, stop in the cafe for a snack or order something from their extensive menu. And don't forget to take home some delicious homemade apple cider donuts and pie. Come and celebrate the fall season at the best family fun destination in the area. Carousel Dairy Bar Cafe and Old Fashioned Fun Park in Beach Lake.
The Sterling Business and Technology Park is currently divided into 23 lots ranging in size from 3 to 30 acres. Each lot in the park is KOZ certified for companies that qualify. The Sterling Business and Technology Park is perfectly located just off Exit 17 on Interstate 84 in northeastern Pennsylvania, just under 2 hours from New York City. If you would like to explore locating your business at Sterling Business and Technology Park, visit sterlingbusinesspark.com. Summer may be over, but the fun continues throughout the fall in the Sullivan Catskills. Peace, Love, and Pumpkins at the Bethel Woods Center of the Arts is taking place through October 30th. This event features a walk-through experience with hand-carved jack-o'-lanterns, glowing pumpkins, dinosaurs, witches, mermaids, fire pits, food, and more. Check out the calendar at bethelwoodscenter.org for the special themes like Friday Night Frights, Werewolf Wednesdays, or for featured live music performances. There's always something happening at Bethel Woods Center for the Arts. Looking for unique holiday events? Consider Ghost Stories at Callicoon Hill, Halloween Hullabaloo at the Cartwright Indoor Water Park, a murder mystery Halloween dinner at the North Branch Inn, navigate the corn maze at Cunningham Family Farms, or catch dinner and the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Forestburg Playhouse. And if you want to visit an authentic haunted site, take a short trip over to the Stone Arch Bridge in the town of Delaware, the site of the area's most notorious hex murder. If you're looking for something a little lower key this fall, follow the Dove Trail or take a trip along the Craft Beverage Trail, featuring local beers, wines, spirits, ciders, and food. For all of the events happening this fall, go to SullivanCatskills.com. The Upper Delaware National Park Service and the Zane Grey Society sponsored this exhibition game of vintage baseball, highlighting the rules from 1825, 1857, 1865, 1886, and 1895. Each of these years represents significant changes on how the game was played and represents over 70 years of 19th century baseball. In this game, the Mountain Athletic Club from Fleischmann's, New York, takes on the Pocats out of Delhi, New York. Although the national anthem was not performed at games until 1862, this event featured 2 of the Wallenpaupack area high school choir members singing the national anthem.
And the home of the brave.
We know that in 1825 they played with 2 teams. We think that they may have played to 21. that they had an arrangement of stakes. They were not bases. The ball could be hit in any direction. There was no fair or foul. The fielding team is going to try to prevent the batting team from scoring points by either catching the ball on 1 or 2 hops or on the fly, or soaking the runner. Soaking means hitting the ball player with the ball. There was only 8 fielders. Why? There was no shortstop. Thank you. The shortstop was created at a later date because the ball we're using, smaller, lighter, doesn't throw as far. So the shortstop was created to create a short fielder to get relay throws from outfield.
The teams adapted to the different rules of each time period as the game progressed throughout the 19th century during the afternoon.
Now balls and strikes are called. 3 balls to a walk, 3 strikes for an out. Foul balls, not strikes. Now they decided it was rather unmanly to catch the ball on a hop. And that would continue until 1876. So now we're going to play the fly game. So this is where modern baseball starts to take shape. Balls caught on the fly are an out in fair territory. The pitcher does not get free delivery. He can no longer run up. He's got a box, 2 lines, 3 feet deep, 6 feet wide. He's got to pitch from that center anywhere in that area. He can pitch right or left to the plate.
So why do these volunteer players keep the game of vintage baseball alive?
There are teams playing all over the country in different rules, different styles, and we play all over the place, and we play it for the love of the game, and to, I say it's a little part theater, part history, and part sport. We're trying to do, it's a lot bigger than just baseball, and it's a lot different than just, your average baseball game these days.
Look for more coverage of this event in a future episode. To learn more about the Mountain Athletic Club Vintage Baseball Team, go to macvintagebaseball.org, or you can find information about the Delhi Pocats on Facebook at Delhi VBBC. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and many other social media platforms. We are always looking for new and unusual story ideas, interesting people, and unique events. Send your ideas for the show to troy@wallylife.com. If you're a business looking to reach the northeastern Pennsylvania market using the most powerful media platform available, contact Emily Grillo at Bold Gold Media, eGorillo@boldgoldmedia.com, or call 570-253-1616. Tune in to Wally Life every Monday at 9 p.m. on Blue Ridge Communications Channel 13 for the latest in life around Lake Wallenpaupack.